Hey, what's going on, Bear Bill Traders? I am Ricky G, and I want to do a recap on my trade on CCL. I actually did 4 trades total on CCL. I got a good one, I want to say right here. I got another, well, technically right there. Another quick scalp right here. I tried to go long again right here. Stopped myself out pretty quick. It wasn't my stop loss. I just didn't think it was ready yet, and I saved myself a few bucks in my opinion. And right here, I got the first nudge, like this is going to be a long. I bought in quickly right there, and I actually doubled up. I actually did twice my usual amount on CCL. I just believed in it that much. I switched over real quick to Roku. Had a nice short going on here. Got stopped out a couple times, but this one worked out pretty well. You see me partialing out, which is good, but that's not the point of this recap. So here I am at CCL, and I did like this. It had one opening range breakout after the Holtz. I got a good piece of it, and I really did feel like this coming down was just kind of like a pullback. I just got in too quickly right here, and there was no confirmation for me to actually get in right there, which was the mistake I made. My confidence level was very high on this, which is why I did twice as many shares. You listen to Mike Bellafiore, and he tells you, on your strong moves, go in big. And this was definitely one of those things that is my strong move. I've seen these happen quite a bit of you get an opening range breakout, and I usually don't catch them all the time. I usually miss them, which is frustrating. But the beauty of it is on the pullback here, you could actually get a range of what you're working with. And I got a range, and I felt confident. And what really made me confident was all this green over here. All this green really told me a lot, told me the story. I didn't catch a lot here on the level 2. I saw big bids on both sides, not substantially big, just 20 to 40, but just all this green going on. It actually stayed in this range of like 59 to 65 for quite a while, which was frustrating because I was pretty heavy on this, and if it actually got below 50, even just before 50, I was going to sell all right there because I'm already twice as much in on my on my usual amount on a trade like stock like CCL. So that's when I thought it was going to kick out right there, and had to get back to my Roku trade where I set a limit order to sell the rest. I really wasn't focused on that. I felt confident on that one as well. I just wanted to get to that goal so I could put my real focus in on CCL, just because I was so heavy in it. But I felt good about it. I actually, hindsight, I had this trend line right there. It probably should have been maybe right here, just a few cents difference, but that's okay. This trade took maybe 7 minutes total. It did just stay right in this range of 62, 63. But again, I was convinced with all this green here. There was somebody trying to push it down, but it just kept coming back up from 59, 60. That was really its support line, was the 59.60s point. And the longer this went, the more I watched this happen, the more I was convinced that this was going to head my way of a long. And I really do call this the second chance ORB because this is the first one, and then I believe that this was going to shoot back up. I actually had a goal of about 1640. That's where the next trend line would be. But actually, Eamon would call this an ABCD, I'm pretty sure. B, C, and if it goes my direction, it would be D up there. And I just waited. It out. I watched it. I kept very close eye. If this lost 55, I was going to get rid of it, and it was actually got to a point where it was a couple cents away, and I was going to accept the loss. The loss would have been a little bit bigger than my max amount, but that's what happens when you get in big. You accept that. And it's not that often that I would go in heavy like this, and I liked it a lot as it moved on. All this green over here, and there was just little pockets of red, but just so much green going on. And I had a losing week last week, and going back and watching the tape, I realized I didn't spend enough time focused over here watching level 2 and watching the print and feeling out the animal of the stock that I was trading. And I did that really well today, not just on CCL, but on Roku as well. Actually, shout out to Carlos. In the pre-market, he announced, hey, I really like CCL. Last week, due to all the chop of all the stocks last week, CCL actually traded really clean. And after he said that, that had me looking at it. I actually wasn't going to give it a shot today, but thanks, Carlos, for announcing that. That helped me out a lot. So here we are about 5 or 6 minutes into it, and we're still just at this trend line. It just can't buckle down there. Even though it kind of has this kind of like a little bit of a slope going this way, it just can't get there. It just can't get past there, and I like that a lot. And on the 5-minute chart, even though it's not here, it just had kind of a tilt down to that as well. So again, same thing I've just been repeating this entire time. All this green over here, I liked it a lot. No really big bids or ask. There's a 50 over here, 42, but that wasn't enough to get me going. Now I'm seeing it pop up a bit with more green. Look at all the big greens going on here. And I'm seeing it pop up. It's more and more going my way. I'm liking this a lot. Okay, this is the beginning of the pop out, getting out of the range a little bit. And I actually like it enough to buy it a little bit more. So I'm actually... maybe I'm breaking my rule a little bit, but that's how much I believed in this. I bought in for maybe about 50 more shares, and I told myself if it gets below 60 now, I'm going to get rid of it. 60 cents, I mean. Luckily, it just moved more and more green on the print, a little red there for a sell-off. Okay, looking good. Staying right at that line, staying in the range. And I'm liking this. I'm feeling like, okay, it's definitely moving my way. Once it gets to the 80s, I want to start thinking about a partial. I don't have the share size to do 10% partials. I do 25% partials. So there, I got one there. And I'm thinking, okay, let's get it to 16, maybe 25% more. And then just a beauty happened there. Boom! Just everybody got stopped out that was taking it the other way. Just like that. And... I got really lucky on that move. That is a huge pop, one I've never seen before. That is 50 cents on the pop, I want to say, which is really nice. I do believe that was just really lucky that I was in the right trade at the right time, but at the same time, I'm really proud of what I think was good skill reading of the print here throughout that time. If there's any negatives that I feel about, it's how strong I went in on it. Maybe I put a little too much risk in this one, but it worked out, and I'll evaluate that. And I probably won't do that too often. I really had a lot of confidence in the way this was moving. In particular, I had a good feeling about it after the first breakup. It had a lot of momentum, and this just wasn't going down fast enough. I kind of feel like there was just somebody big in there keeping it up, that they wanted the price to come down, and then they were buying in shares here, buying in shares here, buying in shares here, buying in shares here, and then finally they wanted to get up and then they could sell. But that's just a theory I have, and who knows how valid that is. But that is my video, and I hope you learned something. I hope you got something you liked out of this. Please let me know what you think. Thank you, Bear Bull community. This is a real privilege to be a part of this. Thanks.